Right, old school NBA fans, self-research, NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. And this video here is going to be about something that I hear chatter about once in a while, and I heard some recently, and it just motivated me to make a video. Of course, all the LeBron crowd jumps on this like a dog in heat, and it really needs a lot of context, and they will not provide that context. And I did a video a while back, just not in this way, not as in-depth. The 1994 Chicago Bulls. Everybody makes the biggest deal about they were 55-27. They were only 2 games worse than the year before. And they will fail to let you know of all the additions to the team. There were so many. They basically got a whole nother second team for that season. But the reason why I feel the Bulls did well without Michael Jordan. Now, in the playoffs, not really. They lost in the second round. But I'm going to talk about that and why I think that this whole thing is way blown out of proportion. Bulls didn't have any serious injuries. They gained a lot of key players. Key players in the second three-peat like Luke Longley, Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc, Bill Winnington. These players were added along with Pete Myers, who ended up being their starting 2-guard. Besides all the additions to the team that were not on the team the year before, what about the fact that the East was so incredibly weak? And I don't want to hear about the records of the teams, and there wasn't even that many good teams in the East anyway, but the players in the East. It was unbelievable how weak it was. I remember this, and then all these years later, 20, 30 years later, I hear everybody talking about the 94 Bulls as if it's some indictment on Jordan. They're like, oh, they barely even needed Jordan. Like, what? Okay. So what I'm going to talk about is specifically the All-Star game and who made the All-Star team in the East. That right there should tell you everything you need to know about the state of the Eastern Conference in 1994. All right, well, first off, there's only been, since the merger, there's been 5 times a conference. This is from the merger up till like 2017 when they started doing that Team LeBron, Team Curry, Team Giannis nonsense. And plus, some of those players may still make more All-Star games. But this is the only time since the merger, going up to like, let's just say 2017, so 40 years, that there were more than 2 players on an All-Star team, East or West, that were a one and only All-Star appearance. Here you go. The first one, in 1998, the East. You had Rick Smits, Steve Smith, and Jason Williams from the Nets, the center. Well, what stands out right away? Well, the first thing that stands out is a big reason why these guys made it is because of injuries. You don't see Alonzo Mourning on that team. You don't see Scottie Pippen on that team. No, they were hurt. They didn't make the All-Star team. That definitely played a part in why these guys were in there. And also, Jason Williams had an injury and some legal trouble later on in his career, so he really had no chance to make another All-Star team. But anyway, the next time, in 2001, you had Antonio Davis, Anthony Mason, and Theo Ratliff. All right? Anthony Mason had made All-NBA before. I think he made 2 of them, actually. But that's his one and only All-Star, technically. Okay. The next time, 2004 East, you had 4 players. Kenyon Martin, Jamal McGlure, Ron Artest, and Michael Redd. Even though Ron Artest made All-NBA, Defensive Player of the Year, technically, that's his one and only All-Star team. Okay, fine, fair enough, whatever. The next time was in 2009 East. You had Devin Harris, Mo Williams, Danny Granger, who obviously suffered injuries that he never had a chance to, and that guy was going to be really good, but he never had the chance to, and Jameer Nelson of Orlando. All right, so you have 3, 4, whatever. Then you look at the 1994 East All-Star team. Here's a little clip for you.
It says now he's 100%. Sean Kemp of the Sonics unable to connect and out of bounds to the west.
The best thing about getting out and running is finding somebody that's going to get you the ball, and you can see Olajuwon on the other end and an easy deuce. And
Olajuwon, and the Chicago Bulls star has it batted off. Olajuwon missed, and Malone and Kemp couldn't bat in the rebound. And Anderson fools Coleman with a pass.
Strongly that the best All-Star games are games where you're on the go. You told your teammates, let's run.
Oh yeah, no question, because Scottie Pippen get to be Scottie Pippen.
amazing how fast you can get old, because all of the guys from the 80s are now looking at rabbits from the 90s.
Head to say, hey, I'm gonna save it and pass it behind my back for two.
Kemp again with the block from the rear. Another one.
Olajuwon this time. Inside to Coleman from his teammate Anderson. Look at Olajuwon up over the top. And it's Sean Kemp beating him down court for 4 points for him.
Beautiful pass by John Stockton. So, like I said, the pace is picking up, so we're seeing good action.
O'Neal looking for his first basket. He's 0 for 6. Scottie Pippen quiet since his early hot hand. BJ.
The 1994 East All-Star team. That was just a clip of like the first quarter. I didn't go through and, edit a bunch of, bad plays, whatever. Literally, that was the first, it was like the 3rd through the 8th minute or something. That's what was going on. Anyway, so first and only All-Star appearances, 1994 East. B.J. Armstrong, Derek Coleman, Kenny Anderson, John Starks, Horace Grant, Mookie Blaylock, and Charles Oakley. All these guys made the All-Star team in the East. They're one and only All-Star team. Now, any one of these guys, yeah, they're decent players. They're pretty good, whatever. All-Stars? No. No other year were they going to make it, and they didn't make it. And the reason why this happened. Here's the players who did not finish the 1994 season, but were in there in the 93 season, obviously. And many of them got hurt during 94 or something else happened. Here's a list of players that most likely would have been on that All-Star team and, more importantly, would have been a factor in the 1994 playoffs, but they didn't. Here you go. Quite an impressive list of players removed from the Eastern Conference, something you will not hear Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, any LeBron media ever bring up these very important facts to add the context to. So first off, you got Brad Daugherty, suffered an injury, career ending, he's done. He's a 4 or 5-time All-Star, very good player. He's done, okay? On the same team, Larry Nance, he gets hurt. He's out. He has a career-ending injury as well. That cripples Cleveland. 2 of their best 3 players are done. So they're a non-factor. That's who the Bulls played in the first round. Cleveland missing Brad Daugherty and Larry Nance. Then you got this guy, a legend.
His own shot, pretty little scoop. He scored 12 points. 2:37 left in the third. Can you believe this? A rupture to the Achilles tendon for Isaiah Thomas. This apparently how his wonderful career ends as he heads to the locker room.
Oh, Isaiah, a career-ending Achilles injury. He's done. Now, granted, I understand Detroit was not going to do anything in the playoffs. No question about it. But they still may have made things tougher on teams in the regular season. But you trade Dennis Rodman, Detroit is now neutered. No Isaiah, no Rodman. They're finished. How about Dominique Wilkins? The best player on the number 1 seed got traded mid-season. What a bonehead move that was. So yeah, he gets traded to the Clippers for what? Danny Manning? Please. Horrible trade. Horrible idea. Then you got Detlef Schrempf of Indiana. A team is a factor. They're a good team. In fact, the next year in 95, they're in the Eastern Conference Finals. Trading Detlef Schrempf, an all-NBA player, what a stupid move that was. Kevin McHale retired after the 93 season. Of course, Michael Jordan retired. You got Reggie Lewis, who unfortunately, untimely, passed away. You also had Drazen Petrovic passed away. He was all-NBA player. Reggie Lewis was a two-time All-Star, right? I think it was like 92, 93 or something like that. Reggie Lewis was making the All-Star teams right there. He's now out of the conference. With Kevin McHale retiring, Boston is finished. Where's the competition? And then you got Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning. Neither one made the All-Star game because combined they missed 51 games between them. They ended up being 500 and they missed the playoffs. Charlotte's not even a factor. The next season in 95, they're the 4 seed. They're a top 4 seed. All these players are gone out of the conference. And who got added? Rookie Penny Hardaway. That's it. That's the only impact player, really. Tony Kukoc, maybe you could say. And another thing that bugs me really bad is the fact that Pippen fouling Hubert Davis. People say, oh, he didn't foul him. It was a bad call. The Bulls would have won. Well, what about this play? If this doesn't happen, there's a very good possibility the Bulls are down 0-3.
0.8 left. No timeouts left for the Bulls. Scotty's going to sit here.
If I look for Kukoc here, at 6'11", he's the logical man to shoot over the tough defense.
Myers triggers the inbounds pass. Off comes into Tony. Look out, it's on line. Yeah! Bulls win!
That's the play that Scottie Pippen wouldn't go in for because they drew up the play for Tony Kukoc, and he got all butthurt about it. Well, Kukoc hit that shot, and at least now the Bulls are only down 2-1. They were down 2-0. He misses that shot. It's in overtime. The momentum was definitely towards the Knicks. I'm saying there's more than a 50% chance the Bulls are down 3-0 going to Game 4. The Knicks would be looking to sweep at that point. Now, the Bulls fought back and all that. They won their home games and everything like that. But I'm just saying it works both ways. It wasn't like it was just some bad call or the Bulls were, going to the finals or whatever. You don't know that. Nobody will ever know that. This is one that's always bothered me. And there's so much context that needs to be added to that 94 season. The Bulls were a good team in 94, no doubt. Were they a great team? No. They were deep. They had all the original players like Paxson, B.J. Armstrong, Horace Grant, Scottie Pippen. They had those guys, Scott Williams. But then they added Tony Kukoc, Bill Wennington, Steve Kerr, Pete Myers, Luke Longley, giving them incredible depth to go along with the guys who already just won a three-peat, a lot of experience, and an extremely weakened East. I just showed you how weak the East was. These guys playing in that All-Star game, a joke. So thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you wouldn't mind sharing it, that would be incredible. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I've been giving daily content. And that's it. Until next time.